We are back for part 2 of lessons learned not from school. So if you did not listen to part 1, you should go back and do that first, because that will give you context for this episode. But we're going to finish out my biggest life lessons that were not taught to me by school, but instead were taught to me by life, by going through life, by 29 years of life on this earth, which, like I said, by the way, I think I've lived like 50 years. That's why I look old. I saw a picture of myself. No, I'm serious. I saw a picture of myself, or like a video, or like a screenshot, and I was like, bro, you are old as fuck. Like, I look old, man. It's the stress getting to me. It's like, it is what it is.
This is why I tell you, you gotta wear sunscreen, man.
Man,
Help yourself
dude.
somehow.
I don't think sunscreen's gonna help the stress on me. I think I'm just fucked, man. It's gonna be bad, but we'll see.
You're gonna turn 30 this year. How do you feel about that?
Pretty indifferent. I don't really feel any way about it, to be honest with you. I know some people freak out about it, and I don't know. I don't. So yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. I don't, for me, it's not that it freaks me out. Well, I guess in a way it's a reminder that I'm getting old. And so that's what freaks me out about it. I'm just like, oh my God, what is going on? I still feel like I'm 22. I swear I got stuck there. I'm like, what do you mean I'm 27? No way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know,
What do
dude.
you
I'll be
mean?
honest. I feel pretty old sometimes. Like, I'm not gonna
You
lie.
do?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, damn. Like today is one of those days where I'm like, brother, you're getting old, man. Like, you gotta
I
fucking
feel like it's the
do your shit.
responsibilities that you have. You have a lot of responsibilities that I feel like most 29-year-olds probably don't have. So,
Eh,
yeah,
I don't know. I was
I
talking to my
don't know.
dad about this the other day. We were talking about responsibility or pressure. We were talking about a lot of pressure. And, we were talking about the business and some of the stuff I have to do, or, that sort of stuff. And he was like, son, like, he's like, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, man. And I'm like, well, number one, like, I do believe in the saying, like, pressure is a privilege. Like, I know it's kind of
Mhm.
like played out, but like, I do believe that, because I wouldn't have it any other way. But then also, I I turned around and I was like, "Bro, when myself and my brother were younger, like 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, he worked 2 jobs. He would work his job in the morning and during the day, and then he would go deliver pizza for Domino's at night, to like, so that my mom didn't have to work, so that she could stay home and take care of us." And I was like, "You were probably under a lot of pressure then too." And he was like, "Well, that's different." I'm like, "No, it's all like, everybody's pressure is different. So we all have it, just in different forms."
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of us do put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So I feel like that's
As you
normal.
should. As you
Yeah.
should.
Can you imagine not putting a lot of pressure on yourself? Like,
Be really
it's
bored.
almost like I would feel like, yeah, like you wouldn't really care. I mean, maybe that's not the right way of looking at it, but
No, it is. You
yeah.
don't have to be PC, Sophie. It's fine. You can say it how it is. It's fine. It's why I
I'm
lost
just
my mind.
saying, I think it's also healthy to be very hardworking, but not so hard on yourself if things don't like, I feel like you can also have a balance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the balance is like, I don't know. I think the balance is not focusing on the outcomes. Like, I think the balance is like, what are you putting in, and what are the work you're putting in, and the chips are going to fall where they may. Like, whether I double my business this year or not, like, I can assure you I'm going to do everything I possibly can in my power to do that. But like, that's
Mhm.
more so what I judge myself on, is like, did you do the inputs? The outputs, either they'll happen over a long enough time horizon, or they'll happen sooner. Like, I don't know, but I can't really control that. So I think people, you focus on the inputs, and everybody's inputs is different for what you want your outputs to be, right? Like, if you don't want to build, if you don't want to make millions of dollars, or if you don't want to have kids, or you do want to have kids, or whatever your outcome is, but like, you have to find your outcome and then figure out what your inputs are, and that's what you should be judging yourself on. So
Yeah. Okay. It's a good point. I would agree with that. Yeah. How do you feel about time change? Do you feel like better? Like life came back a little bit less depressed? Not to say that you've ever been depressed.
It's funny,
Are
I
you
was telling
feeling
somebody
better?
that yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, it was, like, sunny and 80, and I was like, "I feel like I wanna live again." I'm like, "This is great." I'm like, "Life is awesome." I'm not kidding. So, yeah, I mean, I like that it's hotter, I like that there's sun, like, those are the 2 like, if I have those 2 things, I don't really need much else in life, so I totally forgot that there was a time change, like, I thought I was, like, losing my mind because I woke up on Sunday at like 5 a.m., which is like normal time for me on a 5, 6 a.m., whatever. And then my 8 sleep, the thing that tracks my sleep, it was like, oh, you only got like 6 hours of sleep. I'm like, no, there's no fucking way. I'm like, I got at least 7 hours. I'm like, this thing's fucking wrong. So like I went through the entire day being like, I don't know why the fuck this thing said I got 6 hours of sleep. I didn't. And then I'm like, oh, there was a fucking time change and I didn't even
Yeah,
fucking know about it. Cause it was like
yeah.
7 p.m. and the sun was still out. And I'm like, that's probably what happens. Yeah, I mean, I like that I don't know, like, I like when it's dark in the morning longer so that I can
Mhm.
work. Like, I like when it's pitch black early in the morning and I get a lot of
You
work
do?
done. I like that. Yeah, I
Oh,
like
okay.
that. And then I like when it's lighter later because I can, like, go and get an extra walk or, like, those sort
Right.
of things. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I like it.
Yeah. No, I like it too. I like when the day feels longer and I'm okay with waking up when it's still dark. I rather that than waking up and like still it's still like already the sun coming out because then I feel like my day's already passing. But I also forgot about it and I woke up Monday or Sunday, whenever it was, and I was just not feeling great. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then I was like, oh, the time changed, and then I just thought about the fact that so many of us are probably just in a bad mood today because we lost sleep and we just didn't even know it. But
Yeah,
I
I didn't
love
even
it.
know. Yeah, I didn't even know about it. So
Yeah.
I figured
Also,
out.
I'm really pissed off at the fact that while I was traveling, I missed out on 3 weeks of cold weather here in Florida. Because I actually love when it's cold here. I mean, I hate it and I like it at the same time. It just doesn't get that cold, and so it's never cold here, so I'm like, "Great, I miss all the cold weeks," and, like, it's literally already 80 degrees, like, it's done. It's literally the 6 weeks of cold we had, it's done. So, I hate it. Like, you can't relate.
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know what to say back to that. Like, I just can't sympathize with you at all. Like,
I
okay, we
bet
can switch.
if you lived in Miami for 5 years, like, I'd like to talk to you then, and then you tell me how you feel about the heat.
Okay, so
It's like we want what we can't
2027,
have.
2032. You can talk to me then.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's check in and see how you like it.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, and, speaking of sleep, I got 9.5 2 nights ago, 8 last night because Eric and I were talking about, before starting the pod, that I'm sick yet again. So I was hoping the sleep would help, but honestly, dude, I just feel like shit. Like it's so bad. I feel like this time is worse than last time. So I'm just like, what the hell? But like I knew it was gonna happen. 3.5 weeks of traveling. What was I
Hmm.
thinking? You
Hmm.
know?
Dude, you literally just
And I
reminded
sound
me.
and I sound awful. Like you hear it in my voice too.
You just reminded me. I have an Instacart order coming. I just added vitamin C to it. So,
Good.
um, yeah,
I'll be healed
yeah.
by
So
next week. I won't be bringing my germs to the retreat. I promise.
it's gonna be germs regardless, man.
My
It's
God. Wait, I should not even have said this because now if people get sick, they're gonna say it was me.
blame you. I mean, it probably fucking was you. Yeah, it probably fucking was.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna be healed by next week. I have like over a week to be healed.
No, you'll be fine. Yeah, I'm
I'll
just
be
kidding.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm just like, not me just airing myself out like on the pod.
Well, yeah, I mean, when people listen, they're gonna be pissed. But yeah, the retreat coming up. Excited for that. I saw somebody, Vicky Kaminsky, is going to the retreat, and she's never tried gelato, and I'm like, so
Huh?
you're gonna try Anita's gelato, the best of the best. Like you won't ever be able to have any other gelato. I'm serious. Nothing
Yeah,
fucking
I'm so
compares to that.
excited. I'm
Like
so excited.
nothing
I'm
compares
very
to that.
excited.
It's just crazy,
I'm actually
crazy,
so
crazy.
excited. I'm so
Yeah,
excited. And I think anytime I'm in Miami now, I might make it a tradition to just go to gelato and send you a picture just to make you angry. That's what I'm
you
gonna start
should.
doing. Yeah.
I don't. Who
Motivate
knows?
you to go to Miami.
I might as well say I might be there more than you. So who knows? I mean, we'll
Mm.
see.
We'll see.
Uh, we'll have to see.
Uh,
We'll have
all
to
right.
see, dude.
Anything else you'd like? Oh, can we talk about the negative review? Or are we not talking about it? Dude,
What's
who was
dude, they
they're
had the best
listening
in
to the pod right now. Like I know that whoever wrote this
totally.
is listening right now.
Totally.
And it
They
was a
had the best
mistake.
they had the best intentions. Yeah, so whoever did this, I really do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Who is this? Let's go see who it was. The
No, we
review's
love you
name
and we
is
appreciate you.
Roadrunner 008. I know whoever's listening, who it's them, their heart just dropped. This is the review they left. Practical, helpful, and doable. I look forward to this podcast every week. I'm a fitness coach and I love hearing Eric explain everything he explains. He has a way of explaining things in a very practical, helpful, and doable way. No fluff, just facts. I love the podcast. So thank you, Roadrunner. The only issue, the only hiccup here is they put a 1 out of 5 stars. Well, I'm assuming that was a mistake. Like, I'm assuming you meant to put a 5 out of 5 for, stars. It sounds like you enjoyed the podcast. It wasn't like cussing me out, which I'm sure there's some in there. So yeah, Roadrunner 008. If you want to, go leave a little 5-star and rewrite it. Like that'd be great. I mean, the words are there, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I saw that the other day and I sent it to Sophie and I was like, I think this person fucked up. Like, I think they meant to put a 5-star.
I know, like when I first opened the picture, I got really like my heart dropped because I was like, why did we get a negative? Like what? And then I read it, I was like, wait, this is a mistake. This is not intended. So I just thought it was funny. But anyways, yeah, love you, appreciate you, whoever
Thanks,
you are.
Roadrunner. Yeah. Yep. We
Cool. Are
appreciate
you
you.
ready, dude?
Yeah. Do you know where we left off? I'm
I'm
honestly, I
pretty
forgot.
sure. Yeah, no, you're good. I'm pretty sure we did lesson 4 already. So I think we left off at lesson 5. So we have 3 lessons left. I thought it was 8, but it's only 7.
I thought it was 8 too.
Me too.
Are we sure? It is 8. It is 8. Yeah, it's definitely 8.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. It is 8. You're right.
When I wrote it, I know it's right. Okay,
He's
so
like you're wrong.
yeah, it's okay. But okay, so we are going into lesson number 5. Again, this is a continuation of last week's podcast. So if you didn't listen, I would encourage you to listen. Or if you do listen to this one first, go back and listen to the first one. I do think the first one was pretty helpful. So, okay, so this is actually kind of piggybacking off of what we said in the beginning of the podcast, but the whole concept of like self-care, or the concept of like how you should be taking care of yourself. Like I'm a big believer, you have to do what works for you. And I think I said this in the previous episode as well, but I'm somebody who I have a pretty not normal way of going about my work. Like, even for example, I don't know if anybody else has seen this, and I don't even know why this came up on my feed, but I saw a video of like somebody works right next to a JP Morgan. You know what JP Morgan is, Sophie? Like the bank. Okay. So like,
Chase?
yeah, like, so they live next to, I guess, that building, and they'll take a video of the people who work there, and they're like working at 7 p.m. on a Friday, or working on a Saturday, working on a Sunday, and I'm like, yeah, like what do you mean? Like, of course. That's so. I think a lot of people, they just don't work the way I work, or I work in different styles or different fashions. Like, I'm somebody who I will legit work, I don't know, 20 days in a row from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And like, maybe I'll throw in a dinner out here and there, but the majority of it is work. But I will get to a point where I'm like, I'm fucking exhausted. And then I'll sleep for like 3 hours. And then I'll wake up and I'll be fine, and I'll do it again for 20 days in a row. And that's just kind of what works for me at this particular moment in my life. Who knows if that could be in 5 years or 10 years, but that's my version of recovery and self-care. It's like, I don't fucking meditate at sunrise, or like, I don't make sure I get up and like immediately get sunlight. Like, even today, I wanted to get outside and get a walk, but it's been a fucking crazy fucking day with my business. And so I didn't go get the fucking walk because I prioritized my business over the walk. It just is what it is. That's the God's honest truth. So, but that's my choice. And I know if I do that, maybe I'll go to sleep a little bit earlier tonight, or maybe like I won't, maybe I fucking won't, because I've been going to sleep really late the past couple of nights because there's just been stuff going on that I've had to deal with. And so, but my point being is like, I don't judge myself for any of that because that's just what I chose to do. And if I choose to do something different, I can. But everybody's taking care of themselves looks different. And so for someone listening, that might be actually perfect example. Coach Tara, our coach, amazing Tara, every morning and night, she has to read. She loves reading, and she will kick your fucking ass, mine included, if you try to make her not read. That's her version of this. But like, that's what she does, and that's her. So it might be different for you, but I think what we were saying earlier, a lot of people judge themselves based on what they think they should do based on other people's opinion or other people's way that they live life. And so I'm just a big believer of you don't need to live your life like me. You don't need to live it like Sophie. You don't need to live it like your favorite Instagram influencer. Like, stop copying someone else's way of living and like just build your own, whatever you want that to be. Because when you build your own life, which a side note, I don't think people actually understand that they can do this. Like I always hear people be like, "Oh, it would be so nice to do that," and I'm like, build it." And people, "Oh, I have kids, or I have a job, or I have this." Yeah, but like you can work your way towards building that. We've talked about this before. I think I went on a rant on it, so I won't do it again. But build your own life and build your own self-care and do whatever you feel is right in that moment. And that's the other part. It might change. Like, who knows? In 5 years, I might be coming on this podcast and saying, "Ah, every morning I take a 3-hour workout and I go get a walk and I go," like, who knows? I don't fucking know. But this is what's right for me right now. And so that's why I do it. And you need to stop judging yourself and stop letting other people dictate how you take care of yourself. Because going back to what we said earlier, like if I tried to listen to all these people on the internet that were like, take your time, it's okay, you don't have to work so much, work-life balance, mental health, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong, I'm saying for me, if I listen to that, like it's not for me. It might be for you or for somebody else, it's not for me. And if I tried to listen to that, I would feel like a piece of shit. But that's me. So everybody has to kind of build their own version of it. And I don't know why people judge themselves so hard for this. Like people think it's like they get so in their own head, or they think they should be doing something when they're working, they think they should be resting. And when they're resting, they think they should be working. And it's like, bro, just decide what's best for you at this moment in time and go do it. Like stop beating yourself up over what somebody else thinks you should or shouldn't do.
Dude, and I think I feel like some of it has to do with the fact that you are very passionate about what you do, and I think you're very blessed to be in this position, and I know that you know that. Where I think a lot of people, unfortunately, are not in that position where they are doing something that they're truly passionate about or called to do. As
Why?
sad as that, well, that's just how it is. Most people aren't doing what they want to do.
Well, wait. Let's talk about it. I'm curious to hear your
Okay.
thoughts. So
Okay.
like, let's say somebody works a 9 to 5, right? Like
Mm,
maybe they don't love it.
mm.
Why can't they do something they love at night or in the morning or on the weekends?
Well, no, they can, but like that's not the point though. Like what I'm saying is I think a lot of people feel as though they need more recharge time because they're not doing what they're passionate about. So then it feels more like a burned out for them versus someone like you or someone like I who we're doing things that we actually feel passionate about. So then we don't feel as burnt out. Because you're asking like why do like some people, and that's what I'm saying. Some people might need more of that versus others. And then also, I think to your point, you're not the person to need as much of that, or yours looks different than someone else who doesn't have or doesn't need to be like they need 3 hours a day of decompressing time. So I just think a lot of people probably struggle with that because of that. The why behind it, I mean, I don't know. I think most people don't believe in themselves, or they don't go after their passion, or maybe their passion is something else. Like maybe we have a mom who works full time just to support her family, but her true passion is being a mother, which is totally okay, um, and respectable, but, that's not her passion, so maybe her passion is recharging time with her kids. So my point of what I'm saying is some people probably need more of that based on what they do or they
I
think.
think you make a great point. I think it's a phenomenal point. The things I would also not even say counter to that, but I think the things I would say would be like, well, if you love those things and it's a passion for you, that should recharge you. So if you do those things in the morning before you go to work, after the kids go to sleep, on the weekends when you have some free time, I think that can recharge you and that can also start to build the life that you want. Like all of these things that I didn't just stumble into all these things. You didn't say that. I know you didn't say that. I'm letting people know like I didn't just stumble across a star and like fucking have all this happen to me. Like I've I set out to do this and now I'm doing it. And so I also want to show people that like, yeah, for right now, maybe you get 2 hours on the weekend to follow your passion and that's all you can get. But then that turns into an hour in the morning before you go to work. And then it turns into now an extra hour at night. So now you're doing 4 hours a week. And then it goes to maybe 5 hours. And maybe you start to, whether it's make money or not, like, cool, you can make money and like, I think it's a real thing. You can make money and replace your job. Different topic for a different day. But even like following your passion to recharge you. I think a lot of people like
Mhm.
when they go to recharge, what do, Soph? They go on fucking TikTok. Like, you really fucking think you're recharging? And I will get people who argue with me about this. And by the way, I don't agree with everything everybody else does, and you shouldn't agree with everything I do or say either. So when I say argue, I don't mean that in a negative way. But I'll get people who are like, well, it's just like a mindless thing, and like that's what helps me recharge. I don't know that that's true because when you look further in depth in this, like the dopamine hits that are causing you, like you never leave that feeling more refreshed, recharged, smarter, productive, happy. It's like I feel like something like that will or like watching endless Netflix or whatever it is. Like so I think we have to, and I'm not saying you never do it, but I think there's a conversation to be had also around like, well, how are you recharging? Because the way you're recharging probably is what's causing you to also actually not recharge and feel like you need more of it. Whereas maybe if you did follow your passion and you were super working on something that you loved and you enjoyed and you were making progress with it, well, then that might make you feel a lot better and more recharged than just like scrolling TikTok for 2 hours.
I agree and I disagree at the same time. I think when it comes to social media and scrolling, it's a false idea or false feeling that you're recharging because it actually causes stress um in your body. I'm pretty sure that's the I can't think of the actual word. I would argue though, movies and shows, I think that's a healthy way of recharging. And I don't think recharging always needs to be productive. Like what if like to me, recharging could be me watching a movie with my mom and that's quality time between my mom and I. And that doesn't mean like I don't think
I
recharging.
would argue that's why you would have the recharge though with your mom.
But I think even watching a movie, in my opinion, is not like a bad thing. Now, am I spending 5 hours like every single night watching three different movies? Like, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think recharge can be also just something you do that helps you de stress. And I think watching a movie is something that I can enjoy. Especially if it's like I don't know, like a fantasy movie or something that I don't know, like something that I really enjoy. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it also depends on just how much of it you're doing. But I feel like anything, like if what you're saying is it needs to be productive, then I can also say, well, okay, what if doing my nails is something that I really like because that's my way to recharge? That's not really something that's necessarily productive or making me smarter, but it's helping me focus in something in a different skill.
Yeah, two things. Number one, I agree. Like, I agree with the movie thing. Like, if you like watching movies, but again, you're gonna watch 4 movies. Like, that's a different story. It's
I was
number one.
like, don't come for my movies.
No, I think movies are great. No, I think movies are awesome. I think especially nowadays, like people only fucking like spend 7 seconds, if that, on a TikTok video. So watching a whole movie, I think, is actually great. Number two, I would also argue doing your nails is productive because there's a start and there's an end product. I think a lot of us like we like seeing the evolution. So this will be the first time you hear this. I in my business I have a billing director, and she is stepping away from her role and responsibility, and we love her and we appreciate her and I love her to death. But like, there's a lot of stuff that she was doing that now I have to figure out a way to do, or I have to figure out somebody else to do. And so there's certain things that she was doing that I have now been able to find other systems and other avenues and other automations to be able to take care of. And while that was a lot of work, and that's what I was working on the entire day these past 2 days, there's a cool part of that beyond just work. But like, I had an idea of like, I need to automate this, and I built the entire thing, and now it's done. And I'm like, wow, that was a lot of fucking work, but that was super productive because it was not just business, but like, there was something I started, I worked really hard at it, and now it's to fruition. So like, I would argue doing your nails is a similar thing to that, because you want something, you do it, and whether you have somebody else do it or not, it's like, you want something, you did it, the end outcome.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, to your point, I think something that feels recharging can also be difficult, or like
Yeah.
it requires a lot of your effort or your of your mental like attention. Like I think, for example, for me, I do like meditation, but I also hate it at the same time because it's so hard. But anytime I do it, I feel great. And I've gone to meditation classes where they're like, not talking for 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't do that. No, tell me again. I think I've talked about this before. I'm like, tell me that I'm walking towards the mountain and I'm walking towards the lake and I'm supposed to be looking at the stars or whatever the fuck. So I like when it's kind of like a guided meditation, but it's a lot of work mentally. So I think sometimes something that's supposed to be recharging can also be difficult at the same time, which is why I don't, like you do, I don't think TikTok is a way to recharge. You're not thinking about anything. You're not putting any mental effort into that.
Yeah. And to end this one and go on to the next one, like, you can completely fucking disagree with me, and that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
also one thing we like somehow aren't able to do in this world anymore, is like, just
Disagree.
disagree with somebody and move on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate you. I hope you don't
Yeah.
hate me. It's like,
No,
people, they've been trained to hate each other if they disagree on anything. So,
I agree.
yeah.
Wait, I wanted to say one more thing. I think I am also a little bit different in that I need things that don't make me think too much. Like I don't like to go to the beach too much, or like the vacations you take, because I feel like I recharge by thinking, by just thinking of other things. So I really like dancing. So for me, that's how I recharge, is going dancing, because I'm like focusing on something so hard that I don't have to think about like my life, and not in a unhealthy way like I'm trying to escape. It's just like an outlet to think about something else for a little bit. So
Mhm.
just, if you're someone out there, you like dancing, go to salsa class. Eric, maybe you can go to salsa class.
No, some of the coaches at the you guys are going. I don't know if you're going with them, but I think
I don't
on
know if I can
Wednesday
do
or
that.
Thursday.
I did line dancing one time and it was just like very stressful for me. It's not the same.
It's
We'll
like
see.
really white people stuff.
No, not even, it's just different. Like I don't get it. I'm
No, it
not a
is. I
very
think
core.
I
It's I'm
that's what I
not
think of.
Well, I'm not gonna say that. You can say that. I'm not gonna say that. Okay. But I'm just very not coordinated, so I don't know. Anyways, moving on.
All right, fair enough. Cool. All right, moving on. So lesson number 6. I don't know if we're gonna get through these. Lesson number 6. Time and priorities. How you spend it is who you become. So I'm a firm believer of this. Who you spend your time with, what you spend your time on, how you spend your time, are what your priorities are, and these will determine your life. I like, to me, it's really not that complicated. I think it's just inconvenient to hear because most people don't want to look at how they spend their time, how they spend their money, how they spend their energy and their effort. And like, for me, and again, I am not saying this is correct. I'm just saying this as an example. I built my entire life around specific priorities: business, health, financial independence. Like, these are non-negotiables for me. And yes, there are things that I have to sacrifice to keep those priorities high. That's it. It just is what it is. Like, I'll be the first one to say, I'm not the best son, for example. Like, I could probably talk to my mom more. I could probably visit my parents more. I could probably do more things with them on the weekends. Like, I get that. And some people are going to listen to this and they're going to say, you're going to regret that later. I don't know. I don't regret it now. Like, I mean, of course, I like for everything to happen, but that's just not the reality. It's a conscious choice that I'm making. Like, I'm not pretending there's not trade offs. I'm just saying, like, I've chosen something with trade offs that I'm willing to make. And I think for you listening to this, you really need to take a step back and look at your calendar. Where you spend your time is what your priorities are. Your bank account, where do you spend your money? That's what your priorities are. And again, I understand everybody's in a different financial position, but where you spend your money is where your priorities are. And then who are you spending your time with and who are you placing yourself around? What kind of people are you hanging out with? What kind of, even a similar degree, what kind of content are you consuming? When you are scrolling or listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos, what are you building your life around? Because like I said, you do build it. Whether you like agree with like whether you think it's right or not, you have the choice of who you contact and who you talk to every day. You have the choice of where do you spend the time. There are some things you can like you have to go to work or you have to take care of your kids. I understand that, but there are opportunities in place for where do you spend your time. I like to spend my time working because I really prioritize my business. I spend my time going to the gym because I prioritize being jacked. I'm not jacked, but I wish I was, but I prioritize my health. Like these are all conscious choices and you are going to make trade-offs, but your priorities aren't what you say they are or what you think they are. They're what you do and they're how you spend your time. And I don't really need to, I don't think I need to belabor this point any longer. Like, that's just the reality. I think that the more honest you can get with yourself about this, if you do want to change certain aspects of your life, the quicker you will do that. And now somebody might be listening and be like, I fucking love my life, Eric. I don't want to change shit. It's like, you've won then. You don't have to be like Eric or make more money or do these things. Like, if you love everything, well, you've won. Like, you have literally won. Awesome. Kudos to you. But if there are areas of your life where you want to improve and it's not up to the standard that you want, your time, your priorities, and how you spend your money, those three things, that will dictate your life.
So, other than, I guess, because I know you've talked about this a little bit with your family, but what specifically do you think you've sacrificed? And do you, not that you regret it, but do you ever feel guilty for that?
The first question of what have I sacrificed? I mean, from the time I was 18 years old to, I mean, even to this day, like, I don't take family vacations with, if like my parents are going to Myrtle Beach and like my brother's going with his wife, I don't go. Like, could I go? Yeah, but I choose not to. Uh, could I drive home more and like see my parents, or if like my brother goes to visit them and they go out to eat, like I don't visit them. Those are sacrifices that I've made. Those are choices. I mean, I don't know. They're choices that I've made, and so you know, I don't know. I'm sure I could communicate with my parents more, or I'm sure I could go like see my brother more and we could hang out more and do these things. So like, I don't know, like those are just trade-offs. Like, and I know you asked about kind of like sacrifices. I mean, I've made many sacrifices, like not just with my family, but like you guys got to understand, what were you doing at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22? Think about what you were doing then. Most people listening to this, not all, but most people listening, probably college. You're probably at the very least like hanging out with your friends, going to parties, having fun. I didn't fucking do any of that. I worked every single fucking day, every single weekend, and I still do it to this day. And so for most people, that is a sacrifice. What the fuck are you like? What do you, to my 21st birthday? I didn't fucking go out. Like, I worked and I came home and I went to bed and I woke up and I worked the next day. And I've done that every single day. So like all of this time in my late teens and my early 20s, and I'm going to be 30 this year, I didn't live that life. I didn't want that life, so it's not a sacrifice to me. But like, do sometimes I think like, fuck, maybe I could have like hung out with friends and like made friends more? Probably. Like, do I regret it? I wouldn't say that I regret it. May I regret it in 10, 20, 30 years? I don't know. Maybe it's a real possibility, but like, I chose not to do those things. And so, sacrifice, like, I've sacrificed my fucking mental health building this business. Like, I have made all of the like, I talked about this in a different podcast, but like, I'll wake up at fucking 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, and like, I'm in an anxious panic of like, I need to get to work right now. Like, that's not healthy. I'm not saying that's healthy, but that's just the reality of the trade-offs that I've made, and I'm willing to make those trade-offs so that I can do the things that I want to ultimately do in the future. So like, I don't have friends. I don't hang out with people on the weekend. Like, I've made all, like, in my eyes, I say I've made all the sacrifices. I personally, I don't think I have, because again, to me, to the person living it, it's not a sacrifice if that's what they choose to do. So like, I'm not saying that, but like, there is a flip side of it where it's like, yeah, no, I don't have all these normal things that most normal people get to have. But then I also have things that other people don't get to have. So, again, to me, it just goes back to trade-offs. Like, what trade-offs are you willing to make, and what do you want out of your specific life? And I think that's just the reality of it.
Dude, I used to think you were not like ever in a state of anxiety. So I remember one day we were talking about something. You were like, "Oh yeah, I'm like anxious a lot about like the business," and I was like, "Oh, I had no idea that you struggle with any anxiety at all." But it makes total sense. I do think from knowing you and the things that you've talked about, I feel like this is something that you've gotten better at though. Like I do think you prioritize more time now than you used to, right? So I feel like it's a something that you've gotten better at. Wouldn't you say?
What was that?
Wouldn't you say that you've gotten a little bit better at
Wouldn't
this?
you say?
Wouldn't
Yeah,
you say?
yeah. I thought you said, what did you say? No, I would, yeah. I mean, I would say so, but like, I don't. Yeah, I would say yes, but like, I don't. mm, I'm trying to think of like my life back, even like 5 years ago to now, and it's like, maybe I'll take like, for example, if I take my like version of this is maybe I'll go out to dinner on a Saturday night, or maybe I'll stop working at 7 p.m. and like eat Chipotle and watch a basketball game and then go to bed. Like, so that's like my evolution of this, I guess you could say. Like, I'll be honest, even for example, when this podcast is coming out, it's my brother's birthday on Friday, and on Saturday we're going to like Top Golf, and then we're going to go out to lunch. And I'm like, okay, it's from like 11 to 1 is Top Golf, and then we're going to lunch, so that's like 1 to 3:30, maybe 4. And I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of time that I should be working. And like, some people might hear that and be like, that's fucked up. And it is, I don't know, it is what it is, man. Like, anybody who owns a business will understand or anybody who owns a business who is ethical and who is trying to grow it will understand what I'm saying. Like, that's just how my brain works. And so you could argue like, I'll like, a great example of this, especially I would say 2021, 2022, 2023. I would go like visit, this sounds so fucked up. So like, on my birthday, I remember this very vividly. It was like it was like in 2022, and I went to go hang out, or not even hang out, like have a 1.5 hour lunch with my parents or something. And it's gonna sound fucked up, but like, I I didn't enjoy it at all. I was so anxious about not working, about not answer, like, people are, I have clients who need my help, or like, I have to answer emails, I have to make more content, I have to reply to people, I have to reply to DMs. Like, I was like, I should be working. I should not be doing this right now. And so, no, I don't have that much of a feeling anymore. It's still there. It's just a little bit more quiet. But that even goes back to like what I sacrificed. Like, I'll be honest, like, those are things I kind of regret, where like, I would spend time with my parents or something, and I legit would like not want to be there, and not in a bad way, but just because of I felt this crippling guilt and anxiety around, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be working. And again, that's not healthy. I'm not saying that's healthy, but that's the reality of it. But at the same time, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today. So, again, it's just trade-offs, man. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
And I think sometimes anxiety is also just with what you're saying, it's kind of it's the inability to also be present in the moment, right? Like I think that's also what the issue is you're thinking of something else but not being kind of in the moment. I think this is something that I've also struggled with, especially with my family. I am a Hispanic family and we can be very time demanding and like my family demands a lot of me. And I've gotten better at because naturally I'm a people pleaser. And so like my family lives far away from me and they're lucky and I'm lucky that we live in the same city still, but it's just a lot of expectations of, spending a lot more time than sometimes what I want or what I'm comfortable with. Not to say that I want that. Like, of course I do. It's just sometimes I'm a very routine person and I like to be in my routine and I don't like the long drives or like the unexpected changes. I like to, like, I'm a planner, so I like to know when something's happening. I don't like to be called the same day and being told, hey, do you want to come visit today? That doesn't work with me. So I think as time has gone on, I've learned to be less of a people pleaser and advocate for myself more. But also, I've also understood that for me, I do want to sacrifice some of my own time to be with my family because I value my time with my family a lot. So I've learned to be better with my time and procrastinate less and be a better planner so that I can have more space for those unplanned things. So I think for me, in order to hold some of these relationships, I've also improved some of my own time management skills and how I organize my calendar so that I can keep those relationships because sometimes I don't think it's as black and white. It's like, oh, at least for me, not for you, right? Like, oh, I have these goals, so therefore I have to sacrifice a lot of this. Like, I think there can be a middle ground, which is kind of where I land, where I prioritize both of those things. But I know, like, different from you, I would regret it. Like, if I, God forbid, one of my family members passed away in a week, God forbid, I would regret that. So that's why I like to prioritize my time with them, but that's just how I operate, right? But I don't let that fully consume me either. I don't let it be like, "Oh, whenever you call me, I'll be there." It's not like that either. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very like different. Like it's neither is right or wrong. It is
right.
just different. And that's what I keep trying to drive home to people. Like, you have to find what is like your different that works for you. And that's just the bottom line. Like, so
Yeah.
yeah. So
All right.
cool. All right.
Next
Lesson
lesson.
7. Yeah, lesson 7 then. Going into identity and stepping into who you are becoming and who you should become. And so for me personally, I, because of great parenting and because of various different reasons, like I never really doubted my abilities because I knew I would work so hard. I think what I have sometimes doubted is like not even whether it would happen, but like, when is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? And I think the bigger challenge that I have sometimes struggled with is allowing myself to step into these new identities that feel uncomfortable, like seeing myself as somebody who like drives a Lamborghini. And I'm not even saying that from like oh, I'm better than, no, no, not in any way, shape, or form am I saying that. It's just like, holy shit, like you accomplished that goal. Like that's like super fucking cool. And I like when I look at somebody who would drive a Lamborghini, I'd be like, wow, that person's sweet. And it's like, so even like stepping into some sort of identity like that, for example, sometimes I will give advice outside of fitness, and I'm an expert in fitness, and so I feel really comfortable about it. But even whether we're talking about money or talking about some of the stuff we're talking about today, it's like life experience. But it's like sometimes I feel like I'm not qualified to do that. But at the same time, I ground myself in facts of, like I said, I like to think I have life experience and business experience that maybe a 50-year-old doesn't have because of the sheer amount of volume of hours that I've put in actually working on my craft. Like, yeah, maybe somebody who's 50 years old maybe has, different life experience, or they have more life experience, but at the same time, I've worked 12 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week since I was, 8, 19, 20 years old. I'm going to be 30 this year. Like, that's a lot of time. And so I do have experience, and like maybe my 20 is somebody else's 50. And so I just think I want my whole intention is never to act like I know everything, or I know everything, or I have all the answers, or I know more than you, or anything like that. I think every place that I try to come from is, here's what I've learned, and here's what you can take to maybe improve your life. And if you go back to the very first episodes of this podcast, like 1,000 episodes back, number one, they're going to sound terrible and I'm going to sound like an idiot. But number two, I say this because I really meant it. I was like, I don't know everything, but I do know a little bit about fitness, and I'm just going to share that with you because I think it might help you. So I'll share what I know. And so I think sometimes, like, just stepping into that identity. And I think too, the more you do, the more the confidence grows. Like, I think a lot of times we wait to feel confident before we do something, but it's something you build by doing those uncomfortable things until they become comfortable. So, like, the real growth isn't getting better at what you already know. Of course, you can always improve, but I think it's allowing yourself to step into that new identity, even when it doesn't feel like you yet. And this can go back to fitness. Like, even if you don't feel like a healthy person, an in shape person, if you've taken all the actions and you've lost 50 pounds and you've been consistent, you are a healthy person. And so at some point, you just have to kind of say, like, fuck it. This is who I am. I'm going to own it. And I'm also going to ground myself in the fact that, like, I'll use, whether it's business or my car or whatever. It's like, I don't think of myself as any better. I'm like, cool, you did this. Here's the, whatever it is, the achievement, the accomplishment, the milestone, whatever you want to call it. But like, you only did that and got that because of your actions. And so unless you keep taking those actions and then some to get better, it's not going to fucking matter. You're going to lose everything. So it helps me step into the new identity because I know I am grounded in my actions. And as long as I keep taking those actions, that's what's going to continue to allow me to be that person. So I don't get, there's a saying, I don't know if you're going to know this because, you don't like, apparently you don't know American sayings, but high on your own supply. You ever heard of that one? Yeah. Well, that's,
Nah.
that's a, that's a, that's a saying. You don't get high on your own supply. So like,
Oh.
I don't think I'm special. It's like, I've just taken certain actions. I've been blessed by God, and that's why I am where I am. And I think everybody else can also take certain actions. If people would have taken the actions that I have taken, they would be here as well. And if I take the actions of somebody else, I will be there as well. It's like, it just comes back to the inputs, like I said earlier.
Dude, whoever is watching on YouTube, they just saw me dying. Like, I just died for the
Saw that.
past 10 seconds.
No, I
Um,
was just gonna keep it going.
dude, I'm dying today. But anyways, um, so a couple things. I think what you just said about being like, I feel like you're saying be confident, but also be humble. So I think that's important because you do have to be somewhat confident in order to get things done. Because if you don't even believe in yourself, I feel like
You
the
have to have an
product
ego.
and the outcome of what you do is not going to be the same the way that you perceive yourself to be, but you also don't want to be too confident to where you no longer try to get better. So I feel like there is a balance there. Do you feel like you struggled with this way more in the beginning because you just mentioned, oh, obviously I'm like, especially in your earlier years, like I'm helping a lot of people, but I don't know everything. Do you feel like that's something that you still struggle with, but you just kind of push through it? Or do you feel like that's not in your headspace as much? And also, do you think people take you less seriously because of your age?
I th- Here's how I answer that. I struggle with, like, I really don't think I'm that special. And so what I mean by that is, like, I, I, I just don't like if somebody took the actions that I have taken in my life, they would be where I am. Like I struggle with being like, for example, I will get a lot of people like when I hop on the phone with someone to sign up for coaching, they're kind of like, "Oh my God, like it's fucking you, man." Or like, I know we're going to go to the retreat and people will meet me and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I'm so fucking like, this is so awesome." And I'm like, I'm not that cool. Right. Like I didn't do anything. Like so that's, that's the thing that I have always struggled with, which I know has held me back a bit because I just don't think that I am that big of a deal. Like I know I've taken actions. And so, but you got to take the actions. And so sometimes like I would say, like you asked me, do I feel like people take me less seriously because of my age? I wouldn't even say it's because of my age. I would just say it's because I don't think I'm that special. Like I don't know, like that's just what I keep coming back to. And so, but again, too much of that is a negative thing because if I don't think I'm that special or I don't think I'm that big of a deal or what I've accomplished isn't that big of a deal, it's like, well, then that may hold me back from doing other things that are farther down the line or bigger things than what I'm doing now, right? So that, like, that's what I've struggled.
See, and I think that's an interesting way that for you to look at it because I feel like what makes you special is not necessarily your cleverness or how smart you are, is the fact that you work so hard. Like I feel like that does make you special and that does make you unique versus other people that are just not gonna do that. So like I feel in my eyes that's what does make you special. But I don't know. I feel like you could give yourself more credit, but it's fine. That's just how you
Yeah,
are.
I
But
mean, yeah, like I said, I agree. Like, I probably should, but at the same time, like, I don't. I also know, like, that's it's one of the reasons why I work so hard. It's because, like, I don't think I'm that
right,
special. But you know
right,
what's
right.
funny? And I'm gonna completely flip this on its head. I know I'm special. Like I know I'm that fucking guy. Like I know I'm that dude. And I say that for many reasons. Number one, God. I think God blessed me with many things. Number two, I literally just always growing up, I was like, I can, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like I'm me. Like those people are those people, but like I'm me. Like if somebody was like, oh, you can't do this, it's like, well, maybe you can't do that, but like I can, if I want to, I'll do it. So like there is this kind of like yin and yang of that as well, where I'm like, you don't think I can do something? Like, okay, that's cool. Like I'm gonna, or you don't think it's possible, or you don't think it's okay. Like, no, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do because that's how I am. So I think there is this like yin and yang where and some days it's more of the yin and some days it's more of the yang. Like I do think there is kind of this dichotomy about me sometimes. And I think it's most people because what I was going to say is because I don't think that highly of myself, that's why I work so hard because I know I'm not special. I know if I want to accomplish these things, it's not going to require 50% of my effort. It's going to require 110% of my effort. Whereas most people who are high on their own supply and who do think they're all that, they don't work as hard because, like, oh, well, I got this. Whatever I do is going to be great. No, I don't think that. No, I know I have to put my all into everything that I have. So,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I will say I can kind of somewhat relate in a different way. I've always had this issue at my 9 to 5, because I am the youngest person on the team, and so like I don't know, I have this insecurity, I guess, in the corporate world that I feel like people don't take me seriously, or especially because I'm a woman. I'm not, I'm Hispanic. I'm not white. Like I'm ethnic. So I've always felt like people think that, but they don't say it. Or even at times I felt less respected at work as well. And it's more, but like I try not to act on it, if that makes sense. It's more like a thought in the back of my head that I think people are thinking this, but I just try my best not to let that dim my light or shut down my light or make me feel like I need to be smaller for other people. Not to say that is a true thing. That's just how I've always felt. I don't feel that in this job, funny enough, because I feel like you've never made me feel that way, or like my teammates never have made me feel that way. But like when I thought of this question, I was thinking, oh, like, that might be something that people struggle with in the workforce, or even if you've always labeled yourself as someone that can't lose weight and like you keep if you keep acting on that label, you know what that's like I feel like that's what we're trying to stay away from is acting on the labels that we give ourselves. Like for me, I'm too young for this job.
But that's a story we tell ourselves in our head.
No, yeah. For
It's
sure.
just like when people go into the gym, like, "Everybody's staring at me." Nobody's fucking
Right.
staring at you. Like, nobody's staring at
Yeah.
you, right? It's like but it's the
Yeah.
story that we tell ourselves. And really quickly, I'm glad you said it about what we do here, but I mean, number 1, all of our team is women, so, like, that's number 1. But number 2,
Yeah.
I don't, like I care about winning. Like, I don't give a fuck if you're black, white, boy, girl, young, old. I don't give a single shit. I want killers who want to win. That's all I fucking care about. And so, yeah, I just don't give a fuck about anything else. And so
No.
I know, but yeah. All right. So I have a call in 15 minutes, and so we got to get through this
Last
last
lesson.
question. Yeah, or this last lesson. So yeah, I've told this story before on the podcast, I believe, but I'll share it one more time. Is the specifically what my dad told me, and then kind of how my mom raised me, that I think shaped everything. And I remember I was home one day. My dad got home. He parked in the garage, and I was like outside playing basketball. I was a very especially as a younger kid, I was very emotional. Like I would get like really happy, really sad, really angry, really not. And so I remember he came outside one day and he was just like, I was like crying, dude, because I'm like being a little bitch crying. But like I was crying about something and he was just like, dude, like if you're gonna wake up tomorrow, whatever you're worried about, it's not that big of a deal. And legit, like from that day, I swear to God, I was like, that makes so much sense. Cause like, as long as I don't die, it's fine. Like it'll get worked out, or like people are going to forget about it or whatever. And so that literally stuck with me for the rest of my life. And like a lot of people will look at me like, oh, you don't care, or you're so yourself, or like you said, like, oh, I thought you didn't struggle with anxiety. It's because it's kind of just like, that's what I always remind myself. It's like, whatever I'm worried about right now, or whatever is stressful for me, like, am I going to wake up tomorrow? Yes. Okay. Then like, really, what is that big of a fucking deal? So I think that was huge. Number one. And then, kind of what my mom taught me, which is just to this day, like what true unconditional support and love actually looks like. Like to this day, like I say this and I joke about it, but it's true. I could rob a fucking bank and she'll be like, honey, like, how did you do that? That's so awesome. And it's just like, no matter what I do, it's like just the best. And so, she just taught me. And I think that also put a lot of self-belief into myself, because again, I've always said, like, I've always felt like I could do anything I wanted to, and I could accomplish these things, and there was no limits. And I guarantee it's because of that. Like no matter what I did, like I was awesome and I was great. And I think you toe a line there, because like you need to be realistic and have like actual real life. But I think that's where not only did she do a good job of that, but I also kind of had like my dad being like, that's great, your mother's saying this and it's true, but like you also have to work for what you want. And you like, if you go, 0 for 10 in your basketball game, no, you suck. Like you suck at basketball. You don't suck as a person, but you suck at basketball. So I think there was a good balance of both of those things, where I think like my dad taught me about perspective, and then my mom taught me about kind of the other half, which is like underneath all of the hustle and the ambition and some of those things. It's kind of just like what the way you treat people and the way that they want to be treated, and how you think of yourself and how you view yourself. And so, yeah, I think those are like the two, probably some of the biggest things that my parents taught me. Again, I learned nothing of that in school, but they taught me because they were great.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question. Do you think that had your parents not taught you those two things, you would have grown up to be very different from what you are today or who you are today?
Yes. I mean, you never know, right? But like,
Right.
yeah, I mean, probably. Like, I mean, I will say, like, I'm always, no matter what. So the answer is yes. I will say, my parents, like, they're not like, they don't want to, like, like, I want to fucking conquer the world, and I want to build this huge business, and I want to do this, I want to do that. And they're like, calm the fuck down. Like, why are you so like this? Like, chill the fuck out. So I don't know, like maybe I still would have been that, but like I probably would be a lot more fucking stressed and like have even more anxiety and like not believe in myself. And so, yeah, I mean, I probably would have been very, very different. And quite frankly, that's why I try to share all these things. And again, if you go back to the beginning of the Eric Roberts Fitness podcast, I say this. I say, I feel like I got so lucky and blessed to have the parents I did in the circumstances and the situation that I did and think the way that I think. And I literally just want to share this so other people feel that. I've said that from day one. The fucking receipts are there. And so, yeah, I know I got very lucky with this, but that's why I try to now impact other people's kids and like everybody's a kid because we all had parents, right? So it's like I try to give that back because like I know God blessed me with that, and like it's my duty and my responsibility to give that back. And I take like honestly, I take that very seriously, and I try to instill that in people. And like I think of a couple of people on our team, and I know I've had conversations with them where maybe they didn't have the support of that growing up, or they didn't have that kind of parenthood growing up. And so like, if I did, I got to share it. It's just like my fitness knowledge. If I have that, I got to share it. What's the point of me having all this knowledge if I don't fucking share it with people? It doesn't make any sense. What's the point of me thinking the way I think? And it's helped me in some areas of my life. What's the point if I don't share it with other people so that they can experience this and then they can live their best life? So yeah, it's a long-winded answer.
No, it's fine. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, just because I do think that you had that privilege of having great parents. Not to say that they did everything for you, but it gave you a really good foundation. That's not to say that someone that didn't experience that cannot have it. Like, I think it, like me, I don't think I necessarily had that experience with my parents. Not to say I had bad parents, but like it wasn't that. But I still think it to a degree, I feel like I've built it for myself, but I just think that for those of us who maybe didn't have this, we probably struggle a lot more with self-limiting beliefs, and it's a lot harder to kind of break out of a cycle that you probably built in your childhood. But it's also not to say that it's impossible, because it certainly is possible. Just takes a lot more work, and I think a lot more self-reflection. And that's also not to downplay your own experience, because you also had your own hardships and like your own struggles, and like you obviously still had those. I'm just saying from that, there are people that genuinely don't have that. And like when you grow up that way, it's so hard to come out of that, if that makes sense. Not impossible
Totally.
though.
Yeah. So I couldn't agree more. I will say two things though. So like, for example, I had a lot of friends growing up that their parents had money, for example. I said my parents didn't
Mhm.
have money. And so
Right.
while we're young, we might be like, fucking those people have money and like they're going to be fine. But then also, you know what happens to a lot of those people? They don't ever have to work as hard as I've had to work. So they don't build the self belief in
Right.
themselves to be able to do that because they've
Yeah.
never really had to. So why would they have to work really hard? And why would they have to push themselves and have belief in themselves? They just had an easy way the entire time. So there's that. And then also too, like, yeah, you're right. Maybe you didn't have the best parent, like not you, but everyone listening. You didn't have the best parents growing up. Okay. So it's harder for you. Okay. And like okay, you're like, do you want to succeed or do you want to be right? Because going back to the victim mentality, and it's not specifically to this, but like you can be right and you can say because my parents didn't love me enough that I'm not going to be successful. It's like, okay, you could say that, you could be right, but do you want to be right or do you want to be successful? So like you can still win spite of these things. I can still win even if I didn't grow up with a lot of money. Sophie can still win even though she had her struggles. Like this is what I went back to in the beginning. We all have our struggles. We all have our pressures. We all have our own mental battles that we have to go through. And quite frankly, I don't think there's some people who have had some really, really fucked up shit, of course. But like in the grand scheme of things, I don't think there's like worse or better or it's like it's all just different, and we all just we process it differently. It builds who we are differently, and those are the cards that you're dealt. And so with the cards you're dealt, go win. Like nothing else matters. Go get whatever it is that you want, because you can do that no matter what.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think for me, it just helps me have more understanding and compassion for people, and like understand that not everyone learns these things, and unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck in a cycle. I think anyone that's listening to this podcast is not that person, but I think sadly, a lot of people don't realize that the cycle that they're in, and it's just kind of like a generational cycle that they're stuck in. But I think it's just like good to be number one compassionate with yourself and understanding like, okay, maybe this is why I'm here, but use it as fuel and motivation to be better and to change the cycle, especially if it's like a, cycle that you are in with your family, generational cycles.
Yeah. And I mean,
So, yeah.
there's the way I'll end this, and this is kind of different than what the lesson was, but the way I'll end this is for basketball people, they're going to know this. For non basketball people, you won't know this, but Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson, those were two different, very good basketball players. Kobe Bryant went to a team where like he didn't start. The team was already really good, so they didn't even really need him, so he wasn't getting a lot of playing time. And then Allen Iverson went to a team where they sucked and he started right away, and he was the guy. He was the main person. So like both of those two people had different paths, but the thing that Kobe Bryant said was like, if you're going to win, you'll find a way to win. Like winners win. No matter where your route takes you, eventually you will end up where you want to be. And I think that's the mentality a lot more people should be trying to adopt, which is winners win. And do you want to be a winner or not? Like I was thinking about this the other day when I was eating dinner, and like just no matter what, like I'm gonna win. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but like winners win, and you will find a way. So I think that's something more people should try to think about on a daily basis. Is like winners win. So go win. Do you want to be a winner? Yes, you do. No matter what, even if you had a bad scenario, even if you didn't have the best thing, like the best genetics, you can still lose fat. Even if you didn't grow up with a lot of money, you can still be financially successful. Like winners win. And that's all, like, that is all I want for people. I want you to win in the biggest way and whatever winning means for you. And I know you can because I've done it and I've seen a lot of people do it. You can do it as well.
Period. What was the book? It's called Winning by who is that guy?
Tim Grover.
I read that during 75 Hard. Really good book.
It's a great book.
Yeah, it's a great book.
And both of his books, Winning and Relentless. Those are three books
Relentless,
we
yeah.
talked about. So the three books for if you guys want to go read these books: The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, Relentless by Tim Grover, and Winning by Tim Grover. Those are three non-negotiable books. If you want to break out of self-limiting beliefs, if you want to break out of a cycle, if you want to win, but maybe you just don't know how, or you don't know what it looks like, those books show you what it looks like. And I think a lot of times we just need to see it. And that's, by the way, it's one of the reasons why I share my car. Like, I don't just share my car and be like, oh, but like, I was thinking about this driving the other day. It's like, people look at that and they're like, it's possible. Like if I am, you don't have to want a car, but like the whole point is if you want something and you see it, you know it's possible. So those three books are a great way for you to get yourself. And by the way, it's also great content to consume other than watching fucking cat videos on the internet or
Hey,
watching the fucking news, which would be even fucking worse. So like these are great ways to get yourself into these content bubbles where you're trying to improve. If you listen to this podcast, that's a great start already, but those three books would be great.
some cat videos are fine, but anyways. Okay.
Fair. So, all right, guys, listen, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We appreciate it. If you like the way I like to approach things and you trust me and you would like to get some extra help with winning in all areas of your life, especially with fitness, fat loss, muscle building, you can click the link in the show notes of the podcast to learn more about our one-on-one coaching or join our Clubhouse app. And if you have not already, leave a 5-star Roadrunner, leave a 5-star rating and review. Those really help the show and we appreciate it. So hope you have a great rest of your day and we will chat next time.